MTW now 2 men down, but the push is going to come in. Nico is watching there. He actually takes out 2. It's now all on Zonic. And he's got so much work on his hands. Gets the first one, gets the second one, gets the third one. 2 versus 1. Oh, amazing from Zonic. That's 4 from Zonic. 1 more remaining. And he's going to peek out and he is going to win it. What an absolutely amazing round from Zonic. MTW on their feet. And you wouldn't believe that one. 1 versus 5. Maybe just one of the best rounds Zonic will ever play in his life, and maybe that we'll ever see here in Counter-Strike 1.6. Wow. And that will demoralize.
Hey guys, welcome back to ESL TV for the RaidCall EMS 1 Counter-Strike Go Cup number 4 Grand Final. It's going to be LDLC versus VeryGames.
It is the French Revolution. So that means only one thing. It means a French NAF round.
NAF round?
NAF round.
NAF.
I've spent enough time in the last 3 days in Paris to have perfected this knife round, so if it sucks, well, then I do suck. Appropriately on this day of days.
Oh, voice enable 1, no. Volume 1.
What? Okay. Weird.
So, hopefully we should be getting underway with this one soon. Actually, just want to just check out what the admin said in terms of maps here, because I missed that one. So, Nuke, Mirage, Train. Obviously, Train if we need it in the end. What we got.
No shock really to get Mirage back. Not all that surprised to see Nuke either, so.
So, knife round should be coming in here in just a couple of seconds. Paul's just preparing his French vocal cords. I'm excited for this one. And it's possibly only 1 of 3 novelty knife rounds.
Just gonna have to come up with something else for the others.
So here we go then, we're ready. Paul, the stage.
It's a shame that I haven't got
yours.
the Scots one, because this is where the Scots are, on Nuke. These are the CT Scots. So here we go on the knife round. Between VeryGames and LDLC. Sucker blur. Joe is already laughing. This is not good. And the knife round is underway. Sharpen those blades and bludgeon your friends. First man to die is Smith. As Super Fighter comes in, Sacre Bleu is going mad and crazy in here in existence! Oh my word! Sacre Bleu! He has almost won the round on his own as a stunning little knife from Screams wins it. Baguette.
Token baguette at the end of the round.
Oh, thank God.
You sounded like a very.
I have to do 2 more freaking knife
if I had to put like a face to that commentary, it would be a guy with a really long, sharp, pointed nose and his hair greasy as hell, greased back.
You're so
Probably
bad. That's so evil.
a little wiry
I-
black mustache. That was like the sleaziest French accent
Yeah,
ever.
well, I have French roots, so, you know, I'm allowed to do that one. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do for the other two. Suggestions on Twitter, @PaulChalloner or @Joe_Miller is absolutely fine. Or you can just drop them in the Twitch chat and we'll find out as well. If you're wondering what it's all about as well, by the way, well, it's basically because I ditched Joe yesterday for a Korean barbecue. I didn't really. I was sat in a car for 9 hours on the way back from France, which is a completely different story altogether. But yeah, basically I let him down. So as punishment, I have to do all the knife rounds today in some sort of unique accent that isn't my own. Anyway,
Well,
game on.
so
Grand
far-
final.
So far, I've not been impressed.
Low. Very low.
But offending one European country at a time and getting there. Scream going to get the first kill of this round. It's 5-on-4. VeryGames having the advantage as Happy takes a big hit there from the grenade, but they're in that lower bomb site. Actually, Kenny S is going to get shut down from both sides. That's Super Fighter that brings on back. There's Existence, giving that man advantage back over towards VeryGames. More nades dropping in. 4 versus 3. Well, that bomb ticking away is going to force VeryGames to make their move from this one. Scream is coming in from the one side. There's one man in the vents, which could prove to be crucial here, or not. A Scream goes in, ends him, and it's now all on Super Fighter. The door's going to be open here. Smiths goes down. Can they finish off Super Fighter? Two of them coming in. He gets a double headshot there, and there is Scream to finish it, but does he have the time to get the defuse in? He's got the kit. It's going to be real close, and he does get it very last second.
Oh my word. What on earth? What an opening round. VeryGames take it by a split-second defuse. What a way to start this grand final off. And should point out, of course, that there are only 9 Frenchmen on the server right now. There is also a Belgian involved, which will please Ifya no end. So we head into round 2. On Nuke of the grand final of the RaidCall EMS 1 Cup 4, the final cup in the run of cups. The rankings are almost set now. You can go and check them out on the website at the end of this particular cup and figure out the 16 teams. We'll show you actually at the end who've qualified, as Distance picks himself up a couple in the round already before he was dropped. Just Happy remaining here with a P90 that he's somewhere stolen away from Existence. Has now got himself 2. Just 3 more to find. And, well, they need to be careful here because MBK is low. Scream comes all the way round. They're now going to try and lock down this upper bomb site. Kenny S just waiting up above and spots a leg. Fires off a couple more shots. Down to 12, down to 6. And with 30 seconds to go... Oh, yeah, I forgot. LDLC don't come equipped with watches anyway, so that doesn't really matter. Happy now out to the upper bomb site. Finally gets finished off by Scream. Good attempt. Good couple of kills. Made it a bit more expensive. The eco is converted by VeryGames. They lead 2-0.
Gets himself the P90 and almost gave the P45s to the VeryGames team, sending him home. Another very English joke that was actually pretty terrible in the end either way. So, VeryGames 2-0, moving swiftly on from that cracker.
Might have to ban you from English jokes and just make French jokes.
They all involve baguettes and escargot, which, by the way, is very nice. Thanks for the invention, France.
You like snails?
Yep.
Okay. Found them a bit rubbery myself.
Depends where they're cooked, I suppose. Right. This round, of course, round number 3 is a buy-up for LDLC. Let's see what they're going to come in with. I mean, there's only 1 P90, rest of M4s here, so it's not like they're too far behind in terms of weaponry in this round, which is usually what you're looking for on that surprise third round buy, which honestly is not much of a surprise after the first round when he got 4 kills plus the bomb planted as well. But we are going to see that push coming in here shortly from LDLC. I say that they're just jumping around and not really pushing at all, but That's just very LDLC-like. We saw it in that last map against Fnatic that they took an absolute age to get themselves into position for the push. But look at this defense here on Ramp Room. They are absolutely ripping through them. Last man alive is going to be Apex, and he is going to be outside with an AK in hand, with no teammates left. What can he do? Existence going to peek up from the top. Actually, I tell a lie, it was MBK that was up there. Either way, job done. 3-0 for VeryGames.
Yeah, that spells bad news for LDLC on the early buy as well, because that now means they're going to be, excuse me, potentially 4-0 down at the end of this round on an eco. And they're on T side, which, you know, much more difficult side on Nuke, and they need every round they can possibly get. So every gun round that they lose is like a double loss, because they'll lose the next one as well, usually anyway. But we've seen how good they are at anti-eco in the game against Fnatic. See whether they can come up with something here in round 4. It's Kenny S who gets things kicked off nicely for VeryGames. They have the man advantage. Yeah, creeping forward is Smith, who gets himself one. And again, LDLC just, unfortunately, getting isolated on both of those last 2 kills. And Existence has finally switched weaponry. He went for a P92 rounds in a row, and he's now got himself an AK from LDLC from the last round, and seems to be happier with it. Smith picks up his second of the round. Kenny S, the only man to be dropped so far. Happy gets dealt with outside after picking up 1 frag on Kenny S. But that's all they lost. And again, another eco put in the bank for VeryGames.
Yeah, now Kenny S with that AWP. Let's see what he's going to serve up in this early game. I mean, traditionally LDLC so far have sent 1 man at least towards the outside. That's usually been Apex. And it wouldn't surprise me to see Kenny S getting involved in that early action. And we are going to see a man coming towards outer again. Actually, the flash coming out this time around. A lot of early grenades. And smoke's going in. Oh, MBK just dropping from the roof. Thought he was Spider-Man.
How many times have we seen that? I mean, you see that quite often.
Oh, Happy's worked himself over towards the volcano stairs right now. What is that going to give them any more? Kenny S picks off Apex. Existence going to come around, and he's going to get a free kill onto Happy. He was sleeping there. And as that bomb is planted, they only have 3 men against the 5 of VeryGames. Flash is coming in. Super Fighter going to get 1. Atlantis is dropped by Kenny S though. And here comes a push from above. It's going to be a double for MBK, who totally missed the pallets there as he dropped down. But, you know, for health, there's it. 5 out of 5. VeryGames flying.
Dear me. Nothing working for LDLC. They've tried the passive approach, they've tried the laid back approach, they've tried the slow push approach, and now they've tried the rush, and nothing they've come up with so far has been good enough. VeryGames absolutely on their game this evening. Ruthless in the semi-final, and showing no mercy brothers in the grand final either. A bit of a showstopper with some incendiaries going down just outside 10 from Existence, who's now switched himself up to his 3rd different weapon in 5 rounds. He's now got an M4. Double AWP is in place right now with Smith and Kenny S as well, as you'd expect from VeryGames. There is Kenny S, just waiting on the outside. Smith, I would imagine, is probably AWPing at ramp. And they're going to go for an upper push here, you know, out onto the ledge. Existence is the man flashed in upper. He's going to go down. MBK gets dropped as well. This is a much more incisive push into the upper bomb site by LDLC. Perfectly timed as well. They didn't rush, they didn't stall. They've gone in there with exactly the right amount of time waiting, as Kenny S now up from the upper area, waits for the man to come out of main. And he's going to be... Oh, I thought he was going to be smoked, but that actually dropped down the ladder. Does nail Superfly at short range. But that might just be all she wrote. 4 versus 3 here. Kenny S is going to get dropped by Happy outside. Scream picks up the revenge frag. Just a save right now for these 2 VeryGames players. And LDLC will get themselves their first round on the board. It's a big one. because it's on T-side nuke, and those will all count. So great round so far from both teams. I can't really pick anything out from either team as to making any mistakes or anything. It's just been really good play.
Yeah, and that was a much-needed one, as you rightly pointed out there for LDLC. Don't want to give a team like VeryGames the momentum of steamrolling forward, especially on a side like CT on nuke. Now, that AWP of Smiths that was saved from the last round given over to Kenny S, rightly so. Obviously their big superstar with the AWP, as we are going to see that push coming in. And look at this again, absolutely destroyed. Smith's going to get himself another one. Happy from the smoke, will finally bring that one back. And he's dropped himself down the vents and said, I am out of this one. Does have the bomb. It leaves only 2 men, Maniac and Happy are the final 2. There is the AWP, Kenny S. That looked almost too easy for him. He misses the shot. Happy going to come around. Scream was ready and waiting. That's the bomb down. Going to be called in, and VeryGames will swarm to keep that one covered as door is open. Existence dropped by Maniac, but there are more coming in. Kenny S with the AWP. Looking over towards Hut. That's where Maniac is right now. He opens the not so squeaky door anymore. Scream going to get the kill. 6-1. Bounce back from VeryGames.
Good showstopper from them as well. They needed that. I'm going to get on the back for that. Plenty of cash anyway, so they would have been able to buy in the next round, but they favour that double AWP setup, so they're going to keep that. They have to keep going. See, top of the scoreboard right now, Scream 9-1, but pretty even spread throughout. 3 men on 1 kill apiece on the other team. It's just Superfighter and Happy who've put up reasonable stats so far. Apex here rushing on the outer area, past Red. Just trying to give himself a bit of nuisance out there. I think he's going to get blown away by Kenny S at any moment now, though. Smith gets the call to rotate. In fact, he hasn't been able to go with that double AWP setup, so they've not quite got enough cash just yet. Easiest shot in the world for Kenny S misses. Then the harder one, where he could only see a sliver of his hat, or his head, sorry, is landed. It's the same all over, right? Exactly how it happens. A little flash in from Existence. Should have been able to win that particular fight, but it didn't. Equalised back up again. Smith might get himself a whole hatful here, but again, he isn't able to do so either. Finally, Scream comes in, gets himself a double, a triple, a 4th! That's brilliant from Scream!
4-man, really nice. The second man so close on the defence there, I think, after they took down the 1. But, well, nice round from VeryGames. It was an eco after all from LDLC, so they should have really picked that one up. And you look at the odds, I suppose, going into it. But we're going to have weapons back over with LDLC. Obviously, 7-1 behind in this CT, heavily CT biased map. As they drop down this time. No one falling and losing health, which is always a good thing. Superfighter is actually onto the top side now, and I don't think that they've really noticed that he's in there. He's going to get one. Maniac gets another one. Here comes the push around the back. It's 1-for-1 in that respect, but we are left with a 3-on-2. Only 2 health for Maniac. Scream at 23. Superfighter with 27. A Scream is Kenny S is going to take down Maniac. And Kenny S is going to be the big player in this one. He's the one with full health for VeryGames. Scream actually going to go downstairs, and rightly so. That's exactly where LDLC have got the bomb planted. Got 1 man behind the silo. There is the peek out. Atlantis going to get the kill. Here comes a push around the side, and LDLC have dealt with that one expertly. 7-2, good round.
Very efficient from LDLC that time round. That's 2 out of 9, not too bad, not too shabby. On T-side nuke, as Joe pointed out in the last round, it is heavily biased to CT. Not uncommon to see 12 threes, 13 twos, 15 zeros on this particular map. So if you're reasonably new to Counter-Strike or unfamiliar with the map rotations, then you needn't worry about this being a steamrolled game right now. It looks odd because it's 7-2, but it's just not that way at all. This is far from done. 9 in, 6 to go for the half. LDLC will want to pick up another couple here, so they don't put too much pressure on themselves, and then we go into the knife round, which becomes massively important, of course, on a bias map. And Smith, look at this, gone aggressive through Squeak. He's got himself one, might get a second, does get a second, picked off from the upper area though, and then Scream comes back round and they get another. So 3 versus 2, 3 versus 1. Hello, Kenny S. Only needs a pixel and he's got about 20 of them there. Yeah, not going to be playing with that anymore. Squeaky is smoked. Happy is last man living. And he's going to get pincered here any moment now. But Scream might not need him to be. He's going to make the call. And yeah, there it is. You can see Kenny S just moving back towards the top of that ladder. He's expecting them to come back up the ladder. He knows that the other man's going to cover him low as well. And he's doing well here, Happy, but couldn't stay alive long enough. Was running out of time anyway. And VeryGames extend their lead to 8-2. The
crucial fact, of course, 227 shots fired that round.
I'm glad that got pointed out to us.
Yep.
I wouldn't have been able to sleep tonight.
Definitely can't count them on the fly, can you? So good job we got those stats for future reference. And this one's starting off thick and fast. Happy's already fired 2 shots. Let's see where they go from this one. Of course, an eco this time around for a very laggy LDLC. Happy. I'll switch away from him just for the benefit of our own eyes. There's Apex. Look at this. He's managed to sneak himself in there. Couldn't quite get the kill. Onto existence in the end, though. He's going to die from that one. And that leaves us at... Oh, Scream just nailing Maniac. Atlantis has got one back, so it's not all terrible news for LDLC. Oh, wow. Atlantis in there. Going to take out Scream. Here's the FAMAS of Smiths. He gets himself one. Can he find Happy in the end? Not quite. He just lags himself away. Doing a bit of a moonwalk there. And that is going to be another round. Pretty easy for VeryGames. 2 kills coming in from LDLC, but not really too much of a problem for VeryGames. 9-2.
Yeah, going to take 2 of these last 4, really. Or at the very least, 1 of them. If LDLC don't want to be put under too much pressure in the second half. That was slightly weird. I think that was just a lag on my screen, maybe. That looked like he'd thrown it at the back of his head and it had bounced back to T-spawn, but I think that was just a weird way it looked on my screen. Smoke seemingly deployed in only standard places right now. Just a bit of a defensive smoke from the players playing on ramp there from VeryGames, just to halt any charge they might be fancying. Wow, look at this though. Apex has just decided to go and run and gun and has got himself all the way outside, past red. And that's meant that Scream now fancies his chances on pushing through radio. Does get the first kill of the round on Happy, who will be miserable now. Weird how some players lag and some don't. And, well, firing into the smoke didn't work for Smith. And then there's a little bit of a traffic jam inside those vents. Doesn't really matter, though. Existence and MBK have combined to pick themselves 2 frags apiece. And now we've got Maniac and Apex remaining. Apex, look at this. He's actually up on the top rafters inside the upper bomb site. Gets a frag on Apex. Gets himself 1 frag. Doesn't get the second. MBK
Boom.
Picks him off. And that should be enough. Is it 4 health remaining for Maniac after the grenade lands in there? And they've got 3 men all chasing him. And if he gets out here alive and gets all 3 kills, I'll dance around the studio naked. See ya!
Damn it. Eyes that it went that way in the end. 10-2 the scoreline. 3 more to go. I don't want no naked men running around my studio.
Trust me, it's an experience I've had before.
Yeah.
And it's not pretty.
No. No.
And you should never shake hands with a man who's been holding his parts, if you know what I mean.
His gonads.
Yes.
So, LDLC, they've not got much money. And, well, they're quite far behind. 8 rounds behind, of course, at this point, and we're not done yet. Here comes a big rush towards the volcano steps, and Smith says, I'm going to take at least one of you out. I was going to say the steps, that really wasn't that much. As Kenny sniping off the rest of them that come across. Down to already 3. MBK watching the entry to the steps as another grenade comes round. Maniac going to get shot in the face. Super Fighter is actually going to get shot from below. Hello, Smith, see you blind? There he is.
How long do you want?
He's the last man left alive. He's going to come out of foot. And he's going to be absolutely destroyed. 11-2, easy round for VeryGames. I was going to say easy peasy, but that one's been done already.
Or you can do that. I think we should have, like, spectator sounds allowed to come through.
Do they have a Scottish accent on
Yeah,
you?
they do, yeah.
Even
yeah,
though they've got
Scottish
American badges on their arms.
It's like Scottish SAS or something. That's the
there a
sounds.
Scottish SAS?
Yeah, it's like Scottish guys from the SAS. Yeah, that's where you get the easy peasy lemon squeezy and bish bash bosh. It's the boys on Nuke. 11-2 then, and decent round chance here for LDLC. Need to convert one of these gun rounds because well, they're running out of them. That's the basis of it. They are on a full buy this round. I doubt they'll have enough to full buy next round. It'll just be a whole ragtag bag of weapons for them in the final round. So they've got to make this one count. Set smoke into the upper bomb site is away. Through the skylights go the flashes. Oh, that's an awful flash by Atlantis into T lobby. Doesn't matter though. He'll just pick off Scream like really nonchalantly, no problem at all. Like, I meant to throw that flash there. And Smith replying back. Atlantis gets a second with the AWP. Might get himself a third. No, Happy picks up one in Smith. And LDLC have an advantage here of 4 versus 2. And it looks good for them right now. But Existence just casually strolls around the corner, bottom of the ramp, and takes out Happy. Now 3 versus 2, but Existence, well, he's not got very much health left at all. Brilliant little nade right on the top of the head of Superfighter. He's down to 4 health here. Kenny S then picks up a brilliant shot on Atlantis. It's now 2 versus 2, and they're fairly evenly matched here in terms of health points. Superfighter just has 4 left. Kenny S has to go for this, and Apex at the back has a full counter of health. There's no way they're going to win this one, VeryGames, so I think it is probably the better part of Valor for Kenny S to get out of there and save his weapon. Well, Superfighter, I'm not... Oh, okay, yeah. So he was going to die anyway, so he threw the AWP away to save it for the next round with his partner. So 11-3, big round for him at LDLC, and you know what? We'll come back to round 14 of the first half at a later point in this game, because it might well be the turning point.
Yeah, it could be that vital round. I mean, it's not over yet. An 11-4 half-time. LDLC probably take that any day of the week against such a strong team that we have here like VeryGames. Kenny S again open on the outer. There's not been much for him to pick off, to be honest, in these latter rounds of the first half. As the nades come out. Ooh, Smith's there going in deep. Bit of pre-fire could have probably killed him there. Maniac down to just 11 health. Kenny S still trained up high, but not sure he's going to get anything out of that position. But he's patient, and that's sometimes what makes some of the best AWPers, being so patient. Being able to then react. Has a smoke down. Kenny S gonna fire off blindly. Grenade gonna come in. That could do a lot of damage. In fact, we'll pick him up the kill. And the rest of them pushing through. Flashes coming down. It's a 5 versus 4. VeryGames still pretty healthy from this one. MBK gonna smoke down. Oh, Atlantis not coming down the backside there. Existence gonna take the volcano steps back in. Superfighter gonna watch the top of the ladder. Gets the kill on NBK. 4 on 3. Smith's gonna come through the vents. Apex is still defending the site very deeply, but 2 of them go down. It's now all on Happy. Can he pull this one off? He's up at the top of ladder, which is a real obvious position. 2 of them already positioned to get the kill. Defuse comes in. 12-3, half-time. VeryGames in the lead.
I think that's a fair reflection of what we've seen in the first half as well. A couple of really good T rounds from LDLC. I love the fact that they mixed up their strats all the way through. They were never consistent. They were never predictable. And it's usually the way that you pick up rounds on T-side Nuke, but then VeryGames very strong in almost all the rounds as well. Even the rounds they lost, there were chances that they had to win them. So on reflection, I think 12-3 is about right.
Yeah, I think you're on the mark with that one as well. And I'm sure VeryGames have been thinking, well, that could have been easily a 13 or 14 round half, but I don't know. They should be happy with that one. And if they get Pistol, which, you know, terrorist side Pistol has the upper hand, at least in statistics at this point here in the RaidCall EMS. So there is the possibility of them storming straight through and not giving any chance to LDLC to come back. And that's the important thing as well. If you can actually, you know, finish off a game really quickly, a very quick map 1, that can leave you in a very, very good position going forward for the rest of the best of 3.
Yeah, always important to win that one. Just trying to think back, actually. Week 1 was a 2-0. Week 2 was a 2-0. Week 3 was a 3-mapper, I believe, with Fnatic and LDLC. Is that right? Trying to think. Someone will correct me in the channel,
Yes,
I'm
I
sure.
think it was, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the way it went. And,
why you no switching, server? Don't do this to me.
yeah, that's going to be a bit of an issue.
Ah, there we go. All good. VeryGames just needed a couple of moments. So, here we go then. Second half, 12-3. Very important pistol round, Red Eye.
Yeah, very important pistol round. And it's like we say every time, isn't it? You know, pistol rounds, always important, second half. Pistol rounds on nuke or train, particularly important if you're the T side. And you're just coming off the back of a big first half win. But likewise for the CTs, that's why it's such a big round. If LDLC lose this, then they're really under pressure for the next 2, and that almost takes VeryGames to match point, and then one simple mistake in a round can cost you the entire match. And LDLC had a slight advantage. It's been removed by NBK. Kenny S fancies his chances head-to-head with Apex. Has been clipped yet again for the second time. Now the flashes are going to go out. They are going to try and push this up a bomb site here. 2 men through Squeaky. An exchange of fire reduces them to 3 versus 3. All with full health. NBK then absolutely drops Apex, and another fantastic shot in on Happy. And Maniac is now the last man alive here, and they're going to pincer this one, surely. They know he's inside hut, don't they? Well, maybe they didn't, and it doesn't matter anyway. NBK will deal a fatal blow for a 4-man in the opening pistol round, and VeryGames have pistols, and now it's all for them to lose.
Yeah, this is their game now. That was the round that LDLC needed to turn this one on its head, but you just can't see it coming. Obviously, being on the CT side, you've got more expensive weaponry in there. Well, they're left with nothing. If you look at their, I almost say gold totals then. It's a bit of League of Legends creeping through. If you look at their cash, they just can't afford anything to work with. There's the entry kill from Scream. Bomb can get planted here directly by VeryGames, and LDLC have to try and turn it around with inferior weaponry. There's a flash down into vents, and actually he's going to follow this one through. Scream just nails Atlantis in the back of the head. Here's an opportunity for NBK. He gets that one, and now Maniac is last man left alive. He gets one right in the dying seconds of the round, but VeryGames going to close in on him here. They want these kills, and Maniac is just camped behind the box, but not for long. Existence deals with that one. 14-3, 2 rounds to go for VeryGames.
This reminds me of a LAN that I was at many, many years ago, where when I asked a pro team why they seemed to rush every round, they said it was because one of the players needed the toilet.
Well,
I mean, if it works, it's great, but VeryGames, maybe one of them does need the toilet, because they are just absolutely bulldozing through LDLC right now, with no resistance coming back from them whatsoever. 14-3 is the lead. And they are on a partial buy, so they're trying to save this one move to a match point. So, well, map point actually, because we are in best of 3 territory here. Apex has already been dropped. 4 more men remain, and if they can't win this one, then it pretty much is, well, wave the white flag of surrender, because you're not winning on nuke, and you might as well just move on to map 2. Look at this. 1 dropped inside the bomb site by Maniac. 2 drop. Not going to happen. It's map point. It's 15-3.
Yeah, they went for that 3rd round by there quite simply because it was all or nothing for them. That's all they really had to work with. They're going to spend up what they can in this one. 3 shotties in there.
3, yeah.
But realistically, this should be the game right here from VeryGames, unless we see some incredible stuff, which, even if they do manage to win this 4th round, they've still got a massive road ahead of them if they're to come back in this game. Well, let's see how it goes. Early kills, obviously, always important. If they can pick a couple of them up here, LDLC, they do still have a chance in this game. And there is the first one for Maniac, taking down Smiths here early on. One thing that VeryGames don't want to give up now is these weapons. If they allow weapons to go over to LDLC when they've got the man advantage, that's going to be a big disaster. There's another shot coming out of Maniac on towards Existence. He's down to just 27 health. There is NBK though on the outside. Kenny S chimes in with one of his own. And it's 3 versus 3. What a move from Super Fighter. Drops down, gets himself the second here as well. Maniac coming around the back, did have an AK, but they've dealt with it perfectly. There's Scream and Existence teaming up, and it's now all on Apex. Flash comes through, and Apex is going to be blind, but he's up close and personal. Gets himself one. Existence has only got 27 HP, and Apex is going to win it. And there is a round. I said it can still happen. And LDLC 15-4 behind. They need the next 11 rounds to throw us into an overtime. I'm a very optimistic person, Red Eye, but
yeah.
I'm not sure if I can be that optimistic.
It's still a real mixed bag of weapons, though. I think Maniac's picked himself up a Scout. Happy's got himself a Mag 7. I think there was an M4 possibly for 2 players. No, there was an AK and an M4. I think all of them have a different weapon on LDLC this round. I just want to see what Atlantis has got. Yeah, he's got M4. So there are 2 M4s, an AK, a Scout, and a shotgun between them. But that shotgun is very, very good at short range. You saw that in the last round.
No.
Yeah, so up to Volcano comes Apex. A little bit of a tweak up the top there. He knows he'll get a face full of grenades if they've got them. But doesn't seem too worried. Apex afraid of nothing. At the top of the stairs. I've got asked again why we keep calling it Volcano Stairs. I'll explain it when I get a second. But Atlantis right now is in the perfect position to pick up the opening frag on Smiths. Now Kenny S just making his way on the outer site. Screen picks up the frag easily at short range on Atlantis, and they've carried on moving on outside here and have got the boost onto the air conditioning unit. Not going to put 2 up there though. Just going to see if they pick up the frag. Happy. Well, that was point blank range. Kenny then replies back on Apex to even things back up. Maniac then comes back in again. And they've got an advantage. Oh, short range scout. That's not going to work. That is going to work, though. Brilliant pistol shot from Maniac at short range. And they've saved themselves again with Happy finishing off Kenny S at the end of the round. Nice shot, says Apex. Thank you very much, says Kenny S. 15-5.
It was a good shot as well. You have to give Kenny S credit where that's due. 15 for 5 though. That's 10 rounds that they need in a row. Might be 11 technically, since obviously, well, 12 even more technically, since they won the previous 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Either way, they've got a lot of work to do still.
Joe Miller, mathematician.
Either way, this is going to be an eco round. Full-on grenade there onto MBK. He's dropped very low. Atlantis going to get himself 2 on the outside. May even turn that into a hat-trick here. No, because Apex going to come in. Going to steal that one away. Gets himself to second as well. Maniac finishes off. Easy round for LDLC. 15-6.
Yeah, and no real time to panic just yet for VeryGames. Plenty of rounds to go for the game. And indeed the map. Don't go anywhere after this particular match finishes either, because we do have a best of 3, so one of these 2 teams will get a second chance, second bite at the cherry in this grand final of the RaidCall EMS 1 Cup 4, the last cup before we move into playoffs next week. Have we done the announcement of when we're doing it yet?
No.
Or is that still internal?
It's
I have to be careful sometimes because, you know, you get told stuff and then you can't remember whether it's been announced or not. I don't want to give anything away because it's...
No, I think it's still in the process of
good.
being...
We won't say anything just yet then.
Fixed.
Larry's upstairs right now going, don't say anything, Red Eye, for crying out loud! So I'm not going to say anything. Just going to keep it to myself. It is 15-6 right now in this first map of the grand final of the RaidCall EMS Cup 4. So we head into the final minute of round 22. VeryGames a little bit on the back foot here as we have a bit of a slideshow going on with CSGO TV. Thank you. Look at that, look, sliding down the side there. Looks like they're all on skateboards. 2 picked up already by Apex. Make that a 3rd. Make that a 4th. No, actually did get 3. My mistake. Thought he got 4 there. And just a skateboarding MBK left, who's got 1 point of health right now, and he'll be finished off by Happy. 15-7, and with every round that ticks by, a little bit of doubt will creep into the minds of VeryGames.
Yep, and this one, again, looking like it's going to be an eco. They've not got all that much, and at this stage, it's like, well, if you're only able to buy half, it's not worth it. They've got such a big lead here. Although, I'd still say, even if VeryGames important that LDLC have put a good few rounds on the board here, a confidence thing more than anything else, really.
See, that's how to jump across onto it.
That's something I have never been able to do, but will quite happily tear pros to pieces when they fail that jump. At the end of the day, I don't get paid to play. I just get paid to talk about this, guys. LDLC, that being pretty much the team that we expected of them this round against an Eco. As Apex, of course, gets the better of him. 15-8, the comeback's on, the heat is on.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Felt like having a sing.
Beverly Hills Cop, opening song. The reason we call it Volcano Stairs, by the way, is because in the original nuke, there was some back stairs that was behind the outer building. They were removed when CSGO first came out, which meant you couldn't get down to the lower bomb site by any other means than the vents in the upper bomb site, which obviously was controlled by the counter-terrorists, and the ramp room, which was, well, controlled by the terrorists. So it made it really, really tough. And just to add a little bit of spice, as Maniac picks himself up 3 here, and it's not an eco right now either, so I'm just going to finish off that story in a moment, because we want to see whether he picks up any more. Well, Atlantis will get himself a 4, so it won't be an ace anyway. Kenny is about to come under a whole load of pain from both ways. Left, right, centre, you name it, they're coming in. I thought there was going to be a stab there, but nevertheless, he was blown to smithereens by Apex in the end. So the gap comes down by 6 to 6 rounds now, 15. Yeah, just to finish off the story, the outer steps that you see, I don't know whether you can navigate to it, Joe. Can you do that for me? Just show them where it's on the outside. There, that's what Volcano, who used to be a 3D player, Sal Garozo, who is now a well-known map maker in CSGO and a former professional player, made that extension in there, and Valve adopted it for the official map. So
as they should have.
As they should have. So we now call it Volcano. That's why we call it Volcano. So you can now sound like the cool kids when you call Volcano and no one knows what you're on about. You go, God, don't you even know that? How long have you followed this? Smoke headshot from Kenny S. All right.
Nice shot from him, nonetheless. We have 3 men left alive here for LDLC. This could be the round. Kenny S again through the smoke. Get this guy some smoke, because he don't see none. Super Fighter in there. He's going to take down Smith. 1v3. They're talking in French now, which doesn't help me out whatsoever. There is MBK to finish off, and VeryGames gonna win. Map number 1 here on Nuke, 16 rounds to 9. It was a good comeback in the end from LDLC, but, well, it was just a massive comeback that they really needed there at the end.
Yeah. Weird couple of shots at the end of the game. I was just a bit blown away by the 2 shots through the smoke. The funnier one was actually the fact that he typed night night afterwards. No, sorry, you need to come back and play a second map at least.
Does it actually mean night night in French? It might mean normal. Do you have smoke, Kenny? No. Not at all. No. So we're going to be moving into map number 2 here shortly. I'm not sure if the players are going to be taking much of a break, but we are going to be going to a quick commercial break in the meantime. For that one, Paul, do you have anything to get out there to the people?
Not really, other than, you know, I am a man of my word, and I let Joe down yesterday, and I pay my dues by taking the knife round. So if you've got a suggestion for a particular accent of another country that I can completely ruin and make fun of, then feel free to drop us a tweet at Paul Challoner or at Joe_Miller, or just say it in the Twitch chat. We'll have a look in there in a moment while the commercials are playing. So stay tuned. Second map of the RaidCall EMS 1 Cup 4 Grand Final is about to get underway.
Professional grade communication tool. The choice of professional teams. Perfect stream viewing experience. Chosen by online streamers. Easy to use voice messenger service. Chosen by over 12 million gamers.
Communication is always vital when competing in tournaments. Winning a match requires perfect coordination. You cannot win by yourself.
RaidCall. Communication.
Welcome back, guys, to ESL TV for the RaidCall ESL Major Series 1 Grand Final. It's going to be VeryGames versus LDLC. That was a bit weird, Joe. But the knife round is about to kick off. That's why I kind of rushed it, messed up all the production and stuff. But it doesn't matter because we are getting into the knife round, man.
Yo, man. These men be taking a holiday in Jamaica. I have no idea what that was. This is going to be terrible.
Doesn't matter.
Do Jamaican.
You got to hang yourself out to dry. That's part of the deal.
Yeah, I suppose. So here we go, man. I'm so chilled right now. These men be knifing. Playing a bit of Bob Marley. Maybe slightly inebriated. It's probably not even a Jamaican word. Here we go then. Dark and a slashing. I'm starting to sound Indian. Oh my goodness. I think I may have changed my country. These men have knives. They have legs. And they are running away. Oh my god! Oh, knives coming here left, right, and center! Wham! Bam! Shazam! That was for a friend, by the way. I don't know. I can't do Jamaican, Indian, or American.
So one thing I found out in the break, Paul, is that we have a second camera in here, and look at the camera angle. It's kind of cool. Hello, camera. Over there in the wall.
What is that?
I have no idea.
Where is that?
There.
Oh, it's there. Okay. Alright.
Yeah, didn't even realise it was there.
Sorry for bad insultings.
Yep. So you're going to have Americans, Jamaicans, and Indians chasing you down tonight at some point.
I know.
So, map number 2 then, Mirage. Obviously, VeryGames 1-0 up in this best of 3. But we know that LDLC are good at Mirage.
We do know they're good. I mean, it's their map pick as well. They were awesome on it earlier on. They were very good in Cup 3 as well. So, you'd expect that this should be their map and we'll just head into map 3.
Could be. All for the joy of another accented knife round.
Yeah.
Then you'll have done your maximum 5.
I will. I mean, I think that's like, you know, that's hardcore payment there, right there. And not only that, but I'm actually going to pay for a Korean barbecue for you at some point next week.
Yeah. What, you mean when you're casting?
Yep, I've booked a night for you and the missus to go and have a Korean barbecue while I'm in here on my own.
Sounds good. Either way, bombs planted here. Let's get a little bit focused on the game. Map number 2, bomb planted for VeryGames. Happy. Look to work himself in. Actually, great shot on towards existence. That gives us a 5 versus 3. Scream, Kenny S. and Smith got the work to do as a grenade comes in. Smith is surely going to go down. Yes, he will. Scream has picked up Apex, though. And there's another one coming in. It's going to be Kenny S. Where is he at? Here he is, off to the side. Atlantis gets the kill. Is the defuse going to come in? It's going to be another close one, but I think he's got it. Yes, just about. We hear the click there at the end, but it was enough time for LDLC to pick it up. That's the dream start for them. That's what they needed, I think, after getting beaten in on Nuke.
Yeah, put up a decent resistance, I have to say, despite the fact that they were at match point for, what, 5 rounds in that game, and, you know, carried on trying to win it, and came up back on a really weird kind of set of buys. It was a all-or-nothing kind of buy-up, and managed to survive, and that would have given them confidence that they can carry on and match VeryGames. They've played superbly to reach another final, and would love to take one as well. Should be a straightforward conversion this time round. They've already picked up 2, but existence has been a bit of a nuisance. They have got the bomb planted here, so might well see a 3rd round buy-up. Just Scream remaining with 13, and he is going to be dealt with by a Maniac, and bomb will be defused.
Yeah, good round though from VeryGames. At the end of the day, they're on the eco. They got 2 kills. They got the bomb down. That's exactly what they needed. If you look at their money total right now, I mean, LDLC at this point are probably thinking, right, they got the bomb down twice. They've got a good amount of money here, and they're going to buy it. It's like, it's really obvious move, this 3rd round buy.
It's Captain Obvious round.
Yep, most definitely is. You see a decoy there from Atlantis thrown out. Not sure it's really worth that much, though, to be honest. especially since he threw it where they were running anyway, which is like, isn't that like the opposite of what a decoy grenade's supposed to do for you?
Look, what's that on the floor? I think it might be a decoy.
Oh, Atlantis did just spot one man up by the balcony. Can he get in there onto Scream? He's going to throw the nade in. In fact, that's... Was it double nade? No, I think it was a flash. Either way, it's knocked Scream down to 5 HP, and there is Apex going to pick him off. Atlantis sits back and switch on auto director here. So Apex going to have a peek out. They've seen Existence. They know that they're going to be faced with a lot more. Apex going to take the head off MBK there as well. Grenade did come in. Apex focusing now towards Existence. Smith's going to get the kill. And Kenny S going to be coming around the side. Maniac gets Smiths. There is Existence, so he's still causing a bit of havoc around the back of the boxes. He gets himself 2 before they can deal with him. And now it's going to be Kenny S. He's taking the long road in. He's going to flash over the top. Gets the on the defuse as well. Atlantis sunk to the bottom of the ocean. And now who is going to be able to pick this one up? Super Fighter says not today. He's going to back away. Kenny S. doing the work.
Do you know what? That was a really good round from Kenny S, but I was worried for a moment because he was actually at the wrong bomb site with about 20 seconds left on the bomb, and I thought, you know what, if they get caught out on the other bomb site, he's actually going to look a bit of a wally. But just in the nick of time, he got back over to that site, got himself the frag on the diffuser, and VeryGames win a 3rd round buy-up. These rounds are going to be very close, I can feel it.
In my fingers.
LDLC are very, very good on Mirage. VeryGames, no slouches either. Yeah, good placement of the decoy. Nah.
Watch out, guys, they're in spawn.
Nothing doing so far in round 4. Ticking down to just a minute remaining here. And Happy in Atlantis covering that mid-window, which is where they are going to try and push here. Good flashes around the corner, good grenades inside, and now look at that, Existence just pokes around the corner, picks up the frag on Happy, and things now start to kick off. Scream now trying to cover that mid-area. Smith's replying. Scream does get a shot on the mid with a headshot on Superfly, and now it's a 5 versus 2 in favour of VeryGames. Their round to lose. Bomb just thrown to the back casually. Will now be planted on the corner by Kenny S. Maniac and Atlantis might not fancy this, frankly. Haven't got the weapons. Haven't got the cash. And 5 VeryGames players to find. And actually they'll be found, so... Maniac, you just go ahead and try and save your pistol. Go on. I don't think he's going to be able to do it either. Oh, this is a crafty little place usually, but most players are aware of it now. Maniac has got himself an exit kill and a gun, but will go down to the hands of Smith, so it doesn't really make any difference. And VeryGames tied up at 2-2.
Yep, got a couple of rounds from VeryGames, bringing us all tied up in this one. Let's have a look at the early superstars. 5-3 for Maniac. Not many people close to him. I say that, I'm just totally just making it up as I go along. 4 for 4 with Apex, 3 kills. With Happy on the other side, it's Existence and Smiths.
It's quite weird because there's some symmetry on that top. They've got 5-4, 3, 2 and 1 kills. On the other side they've got 5-4, 2, 2 and 1 kills.
Ah,
yeah,
spoiling
see?
it. Here is Apex then. Smith's going to pop around and, well, yes, blown to smithereens, I think we can say there. Grenade coming in. Didn't quite do the damage that they would have been hoping for. Maniac going to be looking up towards Scream's position. Grenade going to come in as well. And that's almost half of the health gone. Existence is going to be able to pick off Apex, but not more than one. There's Happy picking off NBK. Where's the push going to come now from VeryGames? This is looking very much like an LDLC round. Kenny S taking things slow around about the middle. Scream is in the apartment still. 40 seconds to go. There's Superfight, who doesn't have much to do with either of them. But here is Kenny S. Look at this. He's going to be sneaking in around the back of Atlantis. Knife him. That was entertaining at least. He's like, what just happened to me? There's still a man underneath balcony. They need to check that. Scream's going to die to Maniac, but there is Kenny. Last man alive, and he's got 10 seconds to go. He's going to flash himself just for the fun of it. As he gets flashed again, can he get the bomb in position? Doesn't look that way, and he comes off. Actually manages to take down Super Fighter in the end. He's going to survive with his weapon, but you can see the sheer frustration on Kenny there. 3-2 to LDLC. They regain the lead.
Mildly awkward at times, but always very entertaining. I almost wish he'd pulled the knife out, to be honest. Would have been nicer.
Not safe enough.
Yeah. So, VeryGames losing on the clock that time round. Must be a French thing. LDLC doing the same thing against Fnatic more than once in that semi-final. And no, I'm not going to shut up about it. Smith blasting his way into the back entrance as they come towards the bomb site here. There's a grenade landed at the feet of Super Fighter. Then he's flashed as well. They haven't actually spotted him though, and Super Fighter will pick up the kill. In fact, he'll get 2 on there. That's ridiculous. Atlantis lands a double as well, and only Existence is putting up any resistance. He's got 2 himself now, and he is now in a 2 versus 1. Just 54 points of health. Make that 20 points of health. They've just chipped it away with a nice little grenade round the corner, but Existence still stands. He's nailed 3 of them. Can't get the 4th. And Happy will win the round for LDLC. That could have been very awkward.
Yeah, that was great play from Existence. I mean, didn't exactly have much to work with, that's for sure. Well, he's pulled off a great round, even though he died in the end. Give him his dues. Alright, but that leaves us at 4-2. LDLC now going to be up against an E-Code VeryGames. We'll see if they can actually do anything. It wouldn't be the first time, the second, nor the third even, that we've seen the E-Code up team winning these rounds.
I think that's the thing now, isn't it? Ecos are no longer guaranteed win rounds.
Yeah.
And a massive... I mean, you know, for every maybe 500 that were played before, you'd maybe see, I don't know, 10 or something go the way of the pistol round. So it was something special. Nowadays, it almost seems like it's 10 out of every 100.
Yeah, I think that the rate is definitely a lot higher these days, as we are going to see the push coming through. And Apex is just sat there, going to smoke them all as they come down. There is Atlantis getting one onto Smiths. Only 2 men left alive. Apex takes down Kenny, and the last man is finished by a Maniac. Big team effort there. Good hold from LDLC.
Yeah, nicely positioned. Good set strats. Pretty standard inside that bomb site, and efficiently dealt with for a 5-2 lead. Let's just see what VeryGames have got now in terms of strats and where they're going to go and how they're going to make this work. And the answer is A for AWP. Kenny S trying to get into mid, but getting flashed twice. Maniac is also going to get picked off here. Just starting to advance down the ramp, but Scream will have none of that. And now, look at this, MBK loves those little pixel shots. Oh my word. Well, I thought Happy had the advantage in the eye-to-eye there, but Kenny S proves to be wrong. And also, Director, you can change anytime you feel like wanting to change. Kenny S gets himself another kill in the round. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where did that come from? Super Fighter, Superfly.
That was ridiculous. I can't believe that they've actually won that round. That was looking like a far too easy round for VeryGames. And they're just like, well, you know what, Joe? We don't really know what happened there either.
No, I'm not often left speechless.
Oh, sorry, I got carried away with the all speechless thing. There is Apex taking down Scream. First kill of the round. Of course, this is an E-Code up VeryGames. Not got much monies to work with. As MBK going to come in the backside of Apex, but suffers the same fate as Scream. Dead. Kenny S going to die as well. That's 3 this round already. Coming down for Apex. Can he get himself any more? Could have a nice ace on his hands. Wow, great shot from Happy. Looked a bit ridiculous, to be honest. That's how good it was. And it leaves just Smiths. What can he do here?
Well,
Just
what he can
that
do is make
Peter
as much
Griffin.
noise as he possibly can.
And make it super obvious.
Hello, please kill me.
Yeah, sandwiched in. Apex actually gets it in the air. That was in the end. That was 4 kills for him. Well, LDLC just 1 round away from a guaranteed first half lead.
They love this map. I mean,
Didn't we see it last week as well? Fnatic won
Yep.
map 1, and then
Yep.
LDLC won Mirage.
yep, by
And then they
exactly
won
the
the last
same
game.
score. Yes, they are the Mirage Kings.
It's fate.
Not rising to any pun bait. 7-2 right now in this second map of the grand final. Our final cup in the row. We'll be heading to the playoffs next. And after that, we will have, oh yeah, land finals for CSGO. Also be the RaidCall EMS 1 is also supporting Dota 2 this season as well. Also be land finals for that still to come. The final cup has ended in an all-French affair. LDLC last cup's runners-up against a team who have played poorly throughout the RaidCall campaign so far. VeryGames, who suddenly have come good right at the moment they needed to. There were 2 big teams, actually 3 or 4 big teams to be fair, in that first round that needed to come up big. VeryGames were in there, Na'Vi were in there, ESC were in there. None of them had qualified. 2 of the 3 have made it. And VeryGames now looking to put their first cup in the bag, but running out of time this round, and Superfighter will pick off Smith. Scream is now the last man alive. We won't see it because the auto-director decided that actually we should be staring at a cobbled floor, which is far more interesting than watching the last kill of the round. It's LDLC who lead 8-2.
8-2, guaranteed lead, but how big is it going to be? Well, forget VeryGames, they'll be opening 8-7. On the other hand, the LDLC be quite happy with a 13-2, I think, after this first half. Well, let's see. This one going to be an instrumental one. Back on the buy. There's the AWP of Happy. Smith's going to go straight down. And now Kenny S going to work his way in. Here come the grenades out of Atlantis, and not really doing the damage that they would have hoped for the investment. There is Happy actually up above Existence. He's going to come around the corner here. Scream is going to take down Happy, but Maniac was covering. And now MBK going to have a shot across. Brilliant one on towards Maniac. Gets himself number 2 onto Apex. It's now all on Atlantis. He's got 2 men to find. Switches out to the M4. Kenny S got full HP right now as he goes in towards the defuse. Comes off. Kenny S gets the kill. Finally a round back for VeryGames.
Needed that one as well. It was on a bit of a roll where LDLC and VeryGames were looking decidedly average, rather than the second best team in the world, as they've been dubbed over the last 6 months or so. I saw a comment earlier actually, someone said VeryGames have been awful since they switched to Go. Which planet have you been on? They've finished second in pretty much every tournament they've entered, and the only team that have been able to beat them have been Ninjas in Pyjamas. I wouldn't call that a terrible terrible drop down, as Atlantis, well, there's a couple of shots which just don't land. Having got himself 2 kills in the round already. Kenny S now. And it's 3 versus 2. Favour of LDLC. On the defensive side as well. And Happy is really showing us some AWP skills tonight. He's picking up some fairly, I mean, they're not, you know, they're not movie standard, but they're pretty solid AWP skills on moving targets, which are always a little bit more impressive. And he's certainly doing his job well. Gives his team a 3 versus 1 advantage in this round, and there are 40 seconds remaining for Smiths, who is not on screen right now. There we go. Almost like the auto-director's queuing from audio or something. Code entered, bomb planted. Smith nails Atlantis, and now it's a 2v1. This is a bit more interesting. Oh, Happy! Well, again, nothing to write home about. Solid, unobtrusive, efficient. LDLC will put another round on the board. Without the need of a kit.
Without the need of a kit. And again, a really nice round coming out of them. Not without its highlights there. You know, VeryGames still doing a good job in that one. But a good job doesn't always mean a round on the board. And that's what the game's all about at this stage. Apex leading the way in frags, 15 for 9 currently.
I'm liking the spread though. I mean, look at the MVPs as well.
Yeah.
It just shows you that the team's really putting the effort together.
Big team effort. What have we got here for VeryGames? Not really a lot to write home about by the looks of things. A couple of AKs in there. As Apex already is going to back them away from that middle area. And a couple of warning shots fired off there with Smiths. Apex deciding not going to get involved in that one. MBK is actually already pushed up here on towards that A site. It's Maniac going to pick him off. Happy here waiting in middle. Oh, and he's missed the shot there. Second one will miss as well. Apex picks off Kenny S. Can he get number 2? No. Existence deals with him. And Happy's missed another one. This grenade might find his target, which it actually does. Knocks Existence down to 7. And it's 4 versus 2 and a wounded animal. But wounded animals are always dangerous, Paul.
Yes, they are.
Especially if they've got an M4. But they're going to have to make a move. 30 seconds to go. Happy actually in the general direction here. But of course, can't see through walls. Existence jumps by. Probably saw his life flash before him there as well. As Maniac does take down Existence, and it's only Smiths and Scream with a P250 and an AK. Maniac going to get caught out. That's a very nice shot actually from Scream. He's like, thank you very much. I'll have that AK. Not have time to win the round, but the gun will do me nicely. Going into the next one, that was AWP through the wall there. And that's 10-3, double figures for LDLC.
Already absolutely dominant on Mirage. And I tell you what, I think the top teams are going to be going, hey, hang on, these LDLC boys know how to play Mirage. Let's have a quick shifty at the little demos and figure out why they're doing what they're doing. And I tell you what, they're going to find it hard to pick it out because there isn't anything specific. There is nothing that I can sort of go, you know what, they're hitting A really well, this is what they're doing, or you know, the way they move into B is really slick. There's nothing until they get picked off like that from Atlantis. That was a good shot. Bomb planted inside the A site right now by VeryGames. They have a small advantage. A little grenade comes over the top, a nice little header by Smith. But you don't want to head of those. Superfighter comes around and picks out MBK. 5 versus 2 now, dropping like flies inside this A-bomb site. And surely they're all going to go down here. Kenny S, though, filling his boots with a couple. Now, last man alive on top of the rafters. And that will be round 1 by LDLC. 11-3 then. And you wouldn't bet against them having a 12-3 half-time score.
No, you really wouldn't. The way that they've come about this one. To be honest, VeryGames not really had a chance here to get rolling on this terrorist side, but I mean, an 11-4 without sounding like a complete idiot, you know, in terms of mathematics. The psychological effect of that difference is what I want to get to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is a big factor going forward as Kenny S almost destroyed there, down to just 4 HP as he's just lagging. I'm just going to move away from him.
It is weird how that happens.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the problem with that one is, as Kenny S does get picked off. Here's Existence, actually Apex pretty much in the middle of nowhere for that one. That's the second one for VeryGames on the entry to A. 2 versus 3. Happy and Super Fighter, the last 2 men alive, as that bomb is going to get planted here by Existence in the A site. Nade going to come over. It could actually be a really big one. Existence and Scream both taking a significant amount of damage. Come around. I'm going to try and pincer him from both sides here. Happy going to pick off one. Super Fighter going to get another one. There is Scream in the site itself. He's going to have to pick off here. Happy on towards the pistol. He comes over the top of the box. He's going to get the kill. He's got the time for the defuse as well. And that is a 12-3 halftime score. What a move from Happy there at the end.
fantastic round from him, and the sole reason that they are 12-3 up on the half by winning that last round single-handedly. And he now tops the scoreboard in terms of score overall. But as I said before, what I love about the LDLC team is the distribution of kills, of assists and MVPs. If you look at it and then compare it to the VeryGames team, that's the major difference. It's teamwork, it's sticking together, it's making sure you back up and support, put the crossfires in and get the kills. And they've done that equally throughout the team. Counter-Strike is not about finishing top of the scoreboard, although if you read the MVP vote awards on any of the big sites, you'd think that it was. It just isn't. It's about team play, and LDLC have just had much better team play in this first half.
Yeah, they've looked very good. I mean, after that Nuke performance where, as I said at the end, it's important that you get the last few rounds locked up, because it can give you a big boost going forward. LDLC here, obviously on Mirror. VeryGames, it's not over yet. If they pick up Pistol and string a couple of rounds together, then it's going to be very good. From Maniac going over towards that B site. This is exactly the same strategy that we saw them running the Pistol against Fnatic. Kenny S is once again lagging. He's going to go down to Apex. Scream gets one back, and it's now 3 versus 2. Atlantis actually on the boxes here. He's trying to be covered by his teammates, and they do manage to get the bomb down. Super Fighter gets one. It's 2 on 2. They're shooting each other here, VeryGames. Something's going wrong in the communication, but they do get that penultimate kill. But can they find the final one here? Starts to be diffused. Super Fighter peeks out. He's going to get dropped by Existence, and VeryGames do get that final kill. They should have time here for the defuse. They're going to have time for it, and that will give them the hope that they needed here. 12-4, but can they put enough rounds on the board to win this game?
Well, I think, at this point they'll be saying, well, LDLC did, so why can't we? That's the attitude they're going to have going into this second half. A really important pistol round. If they'd lost that, of course, that would have put them potentially onto 15 rounds, with the next 2 being converted. So, huge round from VeryGames. Just shows they're not going to lay down and die and give up this second map without a fight. But so far, they've been outclassed on Mirage, no doubt about it. I do think, though, that they've probably seen LDLC's pistol rounds, because that was pretty much the same as we saw in the semi-final, but VeryGames were much better prepared for it than Fnatic were. And that's why they found themselves ahead. But if an exchange of frags here, this is a bit messy, and it's 2v2. This might go the other way, And look at that, VeryGames just coming in right at the end of the round with Existence and Scream to clear things up and make it 5-12.
And that round only took 33 seconds, as we saw at the end, which is, ironically, usually the time that we see LDLC actually do something. At least that was the case against Fnatic earlier on today. But whatever works for you.
Harsh but fair.
Harsh but fair, whatever works, Let's see what they do this time around again. Full on the eco for them. Got a good few flashes to work with. But in terms of weaponry, they are not up to par with what VeryGames have to offer. Here we go then. LDLC going to start to break through. Position rotation around there from NBK. As one man drops right in front of him. They actually get 2 kills straight after each other. There's number 3 for NBK. Where is Happy? Well, he's just crawling behind. Nowhere to be seen. And he's got a minute to do something redonkulous to win this round. 1v5. Only 20 HP lost from the 500 total that is over with VeryGames, and they're getting impatient. They're just shooting at every angle, hoping that Happy suddenly appears from that one. There he is, though, in the end. Finished off by NBK, who got himself 4 kills that round.
Warning, no Zonic found here. 6 is the gap. Second map of the grand final of the RaidCall. EMS 1 Cup 4. VeryGames having won the opening map on Nuke. We've moved on to Mirage, LDLC. As far as I can remember, are unbeaten in RaidCall EMS on Mirage, but you can correct me if you think I'm wrong. But only with facts. VeryGames at the moment find themselves 6 rounds behind. Not an impossible comeback from here, but they kind of have very little room to manoeuvre in terms of mistakes. Can't afford too many, if any. And Smith somehow got the frag And returns the grenade in kind. And Superfighter is dropped to just 12. 4v4, but the difference in health right now is quite low. And KNS picks off Happy, so now they really do have an advantage here. Can they convert this round? Would be a big round to win. Really nice bit of play from KNS. Little grenade round the corner, immediately followed it up through the door and gets the door bang kill. And that leaves Atlantis and Superfighter now to rescue the round. And, oh, well, wouldn't you know it, there's less than 20 seconds to go. Bomb is edging its way towards the A bomb site as I speak. 10 seconds remaining. And that's going to be GG for this particular map. Just Superfighter remaining. Will get an exit kill. That was close. Wasn't going to be the round winner, but he nearly got himself a very expensive double on VeryGames. Good bit of resistance from LDLC that round, but we are seeing the gap come down slowly. VeryGames now just 5 behind.
5 behind. Can they bring us to level yet? I honestly think they need to hit 10 rounds before LDLC, you know, pick up any more in this one.
Definitely.
Still. Oh, that was a bit
awful.
Yeah, thanks. That's definitely the word we should probably have used. It was not very good.
Yeah. Understatement of the year.
Oh, good shot from Apex there, coming out onto Smiths. He didn't expect that damage. Atlantis here underneath. Existence is going to get spotted and dealt with. Smoke comes flying in, which will have given that position away. Maniac's position has been compromised. MBK expertly taking him down as well, but Superfighter is into this A site, but how long is he alive for? Not very long. Scream is going to drop him, and there is the crossfire set up from Very. Can come in, but you're not going to get the bomb down. That was the message there. 12-8.
Well, just like LDLC were the dominant force in the first half, VeryGames very much the dominant force in this second half. We're 5 rounds down in this half, and they've won them all. Absolutely perfect Counter-Strike so far. We say Franco-Belgian, I think, because 4 French, 1 Belgian. Probably gives them the edge, regardless of nationality. VeryGames just trying to make a comeback in this one. Apex starting things nicely for LDLC this time round. First time in the 5 rounds they've had an advantage of any kind. And Happy just creeping into the bomb site. He's got Smiths on the right hand side. I think he just saw him on the edge of the box. Yeah, he did. So he can fire off into that box. Do a little bit of damage. Didn't do a huge amount. Probably might have done better, but Scream is waiting for him as well. It's almost like Scream's baiting Smiths now, as a way of tempting them to come into the site. And indeed, KNS is actually over the other side, so they've got like a 3-man bait inside this bomb site, but it's Apex who comes around and gets himself another kill in the round. That's 2 out of 2. Not going to get any more though. Scream with a double. Lovely from him. Reply back comes from Apex now, who's got himself 3. Make that 4. Ace is on here. KNS, the last man alive. Bomb's going to get planted, and Apex against VeryGames on a bye after losing the first 5 rounds of the half, is single-handedly about to win them the round and might just get himself the 5th here. KNS lining him up, and he's only got 20 points of health. Apex for the ace! Not quite. Just about got out of there. And KNS now running for his life with the AWP. I'm pretty sure that Apex is not going to pick up the ace after all, but they are going to get a 4-man, or he's going to get a 4-man. And LDLC, more importantly, are going to pick up their 13th round. They move to within 3 of making us go to 3 maps. And Joe will miss out on his Hoover and his burger.
Son of a bitch. Well, nothing new, I suppose. Here we go then. The question is, can VeryGames turn this one around? There's lots of questions still to be answered, which we'll pose to you later on in the show. That sounds very mystical. I've got no idea where I'm going with it. So just bear that in mind, that I am in fact talking absolute rubbish, which I'm good at.
We're paid for it, it's fine.
KNS Gonna be looking for the shot. Find it. He is not. There's the peek from Maniac. But no shot from Kenny S back. And he's gonna miss that one. Smith's coming in there. Existence getting another one. I forgot to press the auto direct key. My bad, guys. Atlantis then gets himself two. We're not seeing any of that action though. Because quite frankly, it wasn't all that cool, was it? Slow down again. 50 seconds to go. We know LDLC are a team that like to really push the limit when it comes to the seconds left on the clock. Happy's going to get peeked and taken down by Scream. They need to make a move here shortly. 35 seconds to go. Maniac and Atlantis. Atlantis has the bomb, but they're going to get destroyed, I think, if they come into this A site. As soon as they get a sniff of them, VeryGames. Oh, got to close it. A little hiccup coming out there. And look at this. They've managed to sneak in there. Kenny S going to take down Maniac. Oh, he's come off the bomb plant. That's not what he wanted to do. And there is a finish, and it's a spectacular one from Kenny S. Kenny S lasting 4 consecutive rounds without dying. He just needs another 7 of them. Good counting, Joe.
Good maths, mate. Yeah, so 6-1 second half. After a 12-3 loss in the first. Now, if my maths work right, that sort of ratio means that VeryGames are actually the slight favourites right now. Ahead, Apex, the man, sticking 24 on the board again, having another fantastic week.
Wow.
And the RaidCall EMS 1. Atlantis gets absolutely blown to pieces by Smith, though. In that mid-area, might get himself a second. No, not quite. Smith actually did get him second in the middle of that. Kenny S has also got himself one now, as we're flashed out inside the bomb site. But look at this. Super Fighter, again, having done nothing for round after round after round, suddenly comes up with a huge double. He's now the last man alive here as well. Might just get himself the one at the back. No, Smith's going to pick it up. And it is VeryGames who reduced the deficit to just 3 with a 7-1 lead on this second half. They're more dominant than LDLC were on the first half.
And that's worrying for LDLC. They've put up such a great first half. I mean, 12-3. That's a massive first half score.
Yep.
And you just think that VeryGames' heads go down after that one, but they're proving here that not to be the case. It's an eco round. Who'd have guessed it that I'm going to have to commentate that one? Let's see what they can do. Which is fine today because they've seen a bunch of rounds that have gone to the team on the eco. Maybe that's the key ingredient to winning this one. Maniac and Super headed underneath towards middle. Kenny S sat quite back. This is a very passive defense this time around from VeryGames. Scream, as I say that, is pushed right up here on the balcony, and Apex does the splits as he drops to the floor. Kenny S there, just torn. Well, do I go A? Do I go B? Do I stick in the middle? Here is Smith, gets himself 2. Can he get 3? Yes, he can. Scream will finish off. Solid round from VeryGames, not losing a single point of health in that round. It's what you call flawless.
It's also what you call annoying if you're LDLC. Can't get themselves even a little bit of damage, let alone a kill in a round right now. And nothing they're doing is going right. And it's times like this that I sort of wonder that, is it maybe their lack of experience as a team that just lets them down a little bit? We saw this against Fnatic. They were neck and neck with Fnatic all the way through that last third map in Cup 3.
Anger problems, Atlantis.
And then just, well, folded in the last 5 or 6 rounds, and Fnatic ran away with it. But up to that point, you almost thought LDLC might just win the cup. Seems to be the same here. They have a problem closing the deal. 2 rounds in it right now. Really big round for LDLC. If they lose this one, it's almost certainly going to be tied back up in a matter of another round. And VeryGames, whoa, Super Fighter somehow won the fight against Screams, and now Happy comes picking on Smith, and it's now Kenny S, last man alive here, against 4 from LDLC. He's also now flashed.
They know where he is.
Does have up. I'm pretty sure they know where he is. And the flash is just going to continue raining down on top of him like a Cologne snowstorm. As VeryGames will be losing this round almost certainly now, unless something absolutely insane happens from the hands of Kenny S. There's the first bit of insanity. Decorates the wall behind him with red. Thanks to the headshot. Apex Maniac and SF remain. And the weird thing is all three of them are low. If only Kenny S knew what we knew. It is going to be a save for exit kills alone. VeryGames have had their little runaway train put on the tracks. Slightly derailed. As LDLC will pick up a round. Finally to move to 14-11, and now they're just in touching distance of making this a three-mapper.
And we saw what the real crucial factor was in this one. Apex jumped 21 times in that round without, the earth-moving jumping that Apex had done during that one. It would have been a different story. So let's see if LDLC can get up to map point. Of course, third map will be train if we need it. You can see Atlantis. Look at him stabbing the wall. This kid's got anger issues, I'll tell you. Look. That's how he spends his time. That's how he knows when it's right. It's like, how many stabs can I do? Okay, throw the grenade.
Yeah,
That's what he does.
It's fine. I'll refer him to the Wall Harming Society afterwards. He'll get some help.
So, can they move up to a game point? Here is Scream. He's going to take the first one. Nades coming up towards balcony as well. Super Fighter down to less than half HP, but Smith's dealt with here. And he looks like LDLC going to make a bit of a speedy attack on this one. A flash comes round, but he's turned away from it. This could be two, or it could be none. Apex gets the better of existence. He should have done better. Apex has not got any smoke, it looks like, in that situation, because he was spot on, hammering away at Scream. But it is a 4-on-3, and they're 3 low health for LDLC. Are VeryGames going to go for it, or are they going to try and save these weapons? They know that it's probably going to be all or nothing here. Flashers coming in. They don't have a nade, do they? No grenade, which could totally swing this one. Apex going to drop MBK. There is Kenny S getting one back, though. Maniac going to come in close. Both Scream and Kenny S are very low. Kenny S does fall. It's now all on Scream. He's already backed away towards that CT spawn. And in the end, he gets shot in the back by Maniac. 15-11, map point LDLC.
Didn't lose their nerve when they were getting absolutely steamrolled by VeryGames in this second half. Kept with it, kept believing, stuck to the plan. They got 4 map points. And there might be a different Queen song playing if they can win a third. Let's see if Joe's can figure out.
Fat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round. No, not that one.
No, not that one.
Okay.
That's mildly rude.
I know what it's going to be. It's going to...
No.
Flash! Ah! Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Go on, Paul, take it away.
There we go. Kenny Eston and MBK not allowing LDLC to claim the map just yet. 2 big frags leaves the 3 men trying to walk through that back carpeted hallway, but that's not going to work too well with the flashes flying down on them. Plenty of pressure here from VeryGames this time around, but Happy, look at this, crept into the A-bomb site. Might get himself one. They're lining up nicely over there as well. He knows there'll be a man over the far side, and he's clipped him as well. Grenade was just a little bit tardy. And Happy's only got himself 26 points of health, but it is a 4v3. Scream is also very low from that exchange with Happy. Grenade will do nothing as they've backed away, and this is good from Happy. He's called it, and they've bought the bomb with them. With 20 seconds to go, they're going to have to make a commitment to this bomb site right now and get that bomb planted, but they just aren't going to get it done. Again, too lazy, too slack, too slow. And Existence will win the round. Daft as brushes.
It's getting close here as well. Let's have a look down the cash. They've got enough to buy up this round. But are they going to save it and go then in the final rounds all or nothing?
Yep, they are. They're going to try and keep this one back because they heard that you were going to come around.
Yep, they're like, Eco, don't you know, Joe? It's getting late, Paul. I'm starting to talk absolute rubbish. But hopefully, we're going to see overtime and a third map afterwards as well. Here we go. LDLC starting to make their push. Coming up, what can they do? Well, Smiths is there ready and waiting. He's going to say hat-trick. Thank you very much. Scream has gone down, but that's the only one so far. And Super Fighter has got all the work to do. He's got the bomb, and actually he may get the plant in. Sneaky little bleeder. Does get the bomb down. Smiths comes around, though. Gets his 4th of the round. Diffuser's going to come in. 15-13. If I had any nails left to bite, Paul, this would be the time for it.
Yep. Down to just your thumb tips right now. 2 to go. 2 in it. Couldn't be closer. VeryGames can only draw, and we would then go to overtime. Joe's checking out his water to see if
Made
there's
in
any,
France. Just saying.
see if there was any Powerade stuff in there, I think.
Powerade stuff.
Yeah. You know, what's that stuff called? Energy drinks, that's the stuff. He's missing out on his burger.
It's more the Hoover that I'm missing.
2 dropped by VeryGames, gives them a 4v3 lead in terms of personnel. 29th round of the potential 30 as Atlantis equalises things back up. Now we've got a 3 versus 3 here. Auto Director might need to go back on.
Oops.
As Happy has made his way in towards that A site. There are 2 men over the far side just checking and waiting. I think they might be forward into thinking he's not in that site. They've already sent one away. Now goes a second one. And Super Fighter is in here as well. Do you know what? VeryGames might have dropped the ball inside this A-bomb site. Atlantis is now going to come through that mid-ramp. And they're going to have 3 men on this site. Bomb's going to get planted here as well. Or is
Left it too long.
Yeah, again, why didn't they just plant when they duped them? But instead they didn't.
Oh my
Kenny,
God.
yes. How has he won that one? Then pulls off a stunning little shot on Happy. Well, LDLC, you only have yourselves to blame if you end up throwing this match away, because that was your round to win.
Yeah, and they've completely messed it up there. I can't believe it. That was... They'd done it all right, you know. They'd faked it out completely. They'd forced the rotation from VeryGames. They just not got in there and done what they needed to do, which is get the bomb down and get those defensive positions set up. And that may just cost them here. We're moving into the final round. There's a Galil with both Maniac and Super Fighter. They don't have enough cash to go the whole hog and get those AKs in, but it's not over just yet. That fat lady has not begun to sing.
And thank goodness, because I hate that song.
Indeed. But they're coming in. But there's 1 minute left. What are you doing, guys? That's too fast. Get out. Nade's going to come around. They're going to get the bomb plant down with just less than a minute of the round to go. Here we go. Push back. Existence gets 1. Maniac's going to die to the grenade. Yep, there we go. Exploded in the back. It's now 3 versus 5. Only 6 health even taken away. Kenny S picks off Super Fighter. There is Atlantis. He goes down. It's now all on Happy. They're going to meat shield the diffuser here. As Happy is round the back. He's not even heard the diffuse coming off. He's sitting behind the box. And that is going to be GG's call. 15-15. We are going into overtime. MR5, 16K.
Well,
this is turning into a really good day.
Yep.
A long day. Is it tomorrow yet?
After a long day yesterday, of course.
In the Korean barbecue shop.
Oh!
Well, you know, if you go in for the barbecue, you got to pull out the soju as well. So we're going to be moving into overtime here shortly. Let's have a look down the scoreboard. 28 kills for Apex, 27 for Smith, 25 for Kenny S and Scream. Now, overall, MBK is the only one that's down there at 10. And I say down there at 10 is also not terrible.
Am I going mad, or was Apex the guy that was playing for VeryGames for a little while, and then they kicked him because he wasn't good enough?
Could be.
Someone in the chat let us know, and unless I'm talking complete and utter rubbish, in which case also let us know. You can also contact both of us on social media, mainly Twitter, of course, because we don't really talk to anyone else other than on Twitter, at Paul Challen and at Joe_Miller, and let us know if we're talking complete rubbish. But I'm pretty sure Apex used to play for VeryGames, and then they got rid of him. He may well be the guy that... I'm going to be careful what I say here, because I thought he might be the guy that stole something at Copenhagen Games last year. Like a laptop.
One could be tarring one's name with a brush that doesn't
but it
belong
might not
to
have
one.
been him.
It might not.
It might not have been him. I can't remember. My mind is kind of sketchy. I'm like 74, and you know, yeah. Actually, I've been corrected. It was MK, of course. That's right. It was MK who did the laptop last year. But Apex got kicked, I think, because he had a sucky attitude or something.
Well, we got that cleared up. That's a good thing. And we're into overtime. 15-15, of course, first team to hit 21 is going to win the match. And LDLC continuing here on the terrorist side. They're going to get the bomb down with Maniac. But the grenades are going to be flying here. There's all 10 men still left alive. Maybe not for long here, as Happy is going to get nailed. Not after... Oh, just after taking down one, though. There's Kenny S onto Apex. 4 on 3. More flashes coming in. There is Maniac to take out Scream and Kenny S. Brilliant individual players. Atlantis comes in as well. And it's going to be Super Fighter to finish off. 16-15. Ignore the bot in the bottom left-hand corner. He's telling lies. It is 16-15.
Yeah, what's he bot on?
It actually crashed. It lagged out and broke. And
Did it?
something, so.
Fair enough.
But that seems to be fixed now. So. Apart from in the bottom left. So look at the top.
Indeed. So, another chance for LDLC. Of course, don't forget, they've got to win this map if we are to get a thrilling third map. If VeryGames win in overtime, it's GG. They're done. And they will claim RaidCall EMS 1 cup number 4 for themselves after, as I've said many times this evening, a pretty poor season by their very high standards, but have come good at just the right moment in the cup. Screen gets both a grenade and then a bullet in his head for his troubles. Existence has got himself 2 here. Happy, the only man to survive. And just trying to work out where he was actually. I think he was in spawn. Yeah, so yeah, he was making his way back round to the back of B. A rather, of course. And he only has 4 men to take down, so this should be straightforward.
His very existence isn't in threatened now, Paul.
Cursed it now, Joe. Is that commentator's curse coming in? All tied up at 16-16 in overtime on map 2.
How many overtimes are we going to see? My bet would be roughly 3.
We couldn't get that lucky.
Especially if one team starts to be sucky. Oh yeah, getting the rhymes out. Puns are so last week. It's all about the rhymes. So anyway, moving on to what we're all really here for, the Counter-Strike. Yeah, we're all tied up in our first overtime here in map number 2 of the grand final of the RaidCall EMS 1. Counter-Strike Go Cup number 4. There's a lot of numbers to digest there. All you need to know, the winner of this one is going to be top in the season rankings.
Gets 100 points and $600 in the RaidCall EMS 1, Cup 4.
Map 2, overtime 1. Scoreline 16-16. It's a 5-on-4. Super Fighter got only 23 health. There we go. Kills coming left, right, and center. It's now a 2 versus 1. And Super Fighter's going to get wedged in here behind the box. Finished off by Existence. Has he got a kick? Yes, he does. Kenny S going to get the defuse. VeryGames going to take the lead, 17-16.
And who says this isn't a numbers game?
Not me. That's why I'm rubbish at it, because I can't count.
I remember the old days when we didn't have the score that would add up both halves. And
I have an
extra
abacus
time
still, I think, in the
yeah, we do
studio.
have the abacus still. And it was either abacus or rough bit of pen and paper, old school. And
it's before we had laptops. You kids don't even know you're born. Tablets?
tablets.
I only need them for my headache.
Sweet Lord. So, VeryGames up by 1 on the CT side. With 3 rounds down in this first half of overtime. It's Flash City in the mid, and that's bad news if you're completely flashed out. Smith picks up the opening one. VeryGames picking themselves up. 2 quick kills in a row. Only... actually, we were so flashed out in that mid-air, we just haven't recovered yet from the flash, so I couldn't see who was left, but it's actually Happy who's the last man alive after Smith blows Atlantis away through the box, and he's going to go down to the grenade, and that'll be 18-16, and VeryGames just on the verge of victory, not just in this map, but in the cup.
And we've got, yeah, WTF indeed, MBK. We've got one more round to go. The bot's like, no, guys, it's half time right now, you know. Type ready if you're ready. And Exist says continue. Indeed, that's what we need to do as the bot's spamming all his crap. But it is 18-16. Shut up, bot. Go home, you're drunk. I wonder what happens if someone types ready now. Here we go. First kill coming in. It's MBK going aggressive. Actually, Super Fighter did do a bit of damage to him there in the end. Apex down to, well, nothing here in the middle. Atlantis going to avenge that one. And that leaves us with a 4-on-3. Advantage VeryGames. Here comes the grenade. Oh, nicely backed away from by Scream. He knew what was happening as he dinks a flash over. Here he's Happy. He's going to fall down to Existence, who turns around, gets himself 2. Can he get number 3? He's got no idea that Super Fire was there. He comes in and, with the last bullets in his clip. He gets the kill. 19-16. VeryGames 2 rounds away from victory. Maybe.
Wow.
Or maybe not.
Turn
I hope so,
around,
Paul,
haven't
because
they?
I've drank too much and I'm dying for the loo.
That's as good a reason as any. Just let me send a text message to Kenny S and Existence and see if they can step this up.
I'll lose it. There's a lot of electrical
Hi
equipment.
guys, please win first 2 rounds. Joe's bladder needs help.
There's a lot of electrical equipment under here. It could all go pear-shaped if I have to resort to the bottle.
Yeah, well, while he struggles to contain himself from going all Pete Tong all over his desk, we'll get back to the game where VeryGames lead 19-16 in the second map, having clawed their way back after being 12-3 down in the first half. We'd pretty much written them off on Mirage. They hadn't. And LDLC just saying to VeryGames that the bot gave them 1 extra round. Well, yeah, he did, but not on our screen. So 19-16 is the score. VeryGames need 2 of the last 5 as Atlantis lands the really good shot on Kenny S. Then Smith replies back, so doesn't really make any difference. It's now 4v4. Happy's waiting. Smith is going to go face to face with him in any moment now, and he's going to lose. Oh my word, but he doesn't. Just as he was about to nail him, he got up out of that crouched position and gets blown away. 3 versus 3 now. Huge for LDLC now. They're losing men. They need to win this round. Otherwise, VeryGames will have 4 match points. And it will be match points, not just map points. 45 seconds to go. This time round, it's VeryGames slowing things down. Still, we wait for the push. LDLC playing a lot more passive, of course, on the CT side. They're not going to go aggressive here with 3 men. They're trying to cover 2 sites with them. And it looks like they're just going to leave the 1 man over here on this B-bomb site at the back of the site, which was Super Fighter, and he's gone down. Maniac's going to make a very quick rotation. He was just coming through that mid hole in the wall. Bomb planted. 3 versus 2 now. Maniac's going to get called. He's going to get nailed by Smiths in the face. That's a 4-man. Apex is the last man alive here, and Smiths is on an ace. And downed by Existence. It's 2016. It's match points. 4 for VeryGames.
4 of them, but we know how good LDLC are on the CT side. We've seen it. That's where they got their 12 rounds from in that first half. but 4. Surely VeryGames can get 1 out of these 4. And I'm glad we're not on Inferno Pool, because I think the pond would be just enough sight of water to drive me crazy right now.
You mean the sound of trickling running
Shut up.
water?
As the flashes start to fly. VeryGames taking control of the middle's existence. Gonna take down Maniac. There's 2 more kills on top. Only Atlantis and Super Fighter stand between them and the victory here in Cup. Can they pull it off? They've got to go massive here, as Atlantis is going to come through the smoke. Smith's actually not spotting him there. Ooh, close stuff. Atlantis misses his second shot. Can they get in? The flash comes flying around. He's coming in with the knife. He is going to get the knife on Atlantis. It's now all on Super Fight. Flash has come in. He's got to go hero mode. 1 versus 5. Who's going to get the last kill? Well, it's going to be MBK, and VeryGames are going to take down LDLC here in overtime and win 2-0 in maps in Cup number 4 here of the RaidCall EMS. Counter-Strike, EMS 1, Counter-Strike Go, Cup number 4. Lots and lots of numbers. But congratulations to VeryGames. Honestly, I think LDLC threw away that last game.
Well, similar kind of story as to the last cup, if you remember rightly, as well. They played really well throughout the whole game, but just kind of fell apart towards the end of the match and lost sort of 5 or 6 rounds in a row. And they've done exactly the same thing. You know, they've had a fantastic run through the 4 cups. They're definitely going to be in the top 4 as well, LDLC. Well, I say definitely. We'll have to work that one out, actually, because VeryGames will get 100 points and go above them, possibly. So we'll figure it out, and we'll show you the top 16 qualifiers. But they're definitely in the playoffs, that's for sure.
We're going to try to, Paul. My PC's just said, you know what, guys?
Okay.
Screw you.
Okay. Maybe not then.
Oh, no, there it is. It's back.
Is it back? All
it's
right.
alive again.
Yay.
So where is it? Where was the? Where were those graphics that we were looking for?
Indeed. We'll show you the 16 qualifiers who've gone through to the playoffs.
There
That is
are
on screen right now.
Obviously, the points aren't right here. I'm not that fast.
No, indeed. We will update those in time. You can check them out on the website for yourself. It's csgo.raidcall-ems1.com.
So, actually, LDLC are top, despite losing that game. Oh, no, they're not, because that already counts
They
to 50
only get 25
points
on top. They got 160. They've got the same as M Faculty and Ninjas in Pyjamas. They've also got the more than Fnatic. So Fnatic are the ones that could actually drop out of the top 4. VeryGames right now have got 150. So they're the same as Fnatic, but they've also won a tournament. But Fnatic will get the nod over them because they've got a semi-final and VeryGames haven't. So by my reckoning, it's NIP and Faculty, Team LDLC and Fnatic that will get the top 4 spots, but in what order, I have no idea right now.
My brain is far too small to figure all that out in the end. But yeah, I mean, you have to give a nod as well down at the bottom. They're absolute legends. 5 points from Cup 1, 5 from Cup 2, 25 from Cup 4, just about secure them. Wizards, they've got 10 points from each cup. They've not even won a game, but, you know, that's how the cookie crumbles. They're through in the top 16.
I am with you, and I'm kind of looking at it going, what the hell has gone on there? But on the other hand,
they are Wizards, so they're working a bit of magic.
But they were ranked from the previous season. So
exactly.
They were one of the national champions, so they get that bye, and that's obviously lasted from last year. They won't get that next season, that's for sure. They'll need to finish in the top 8 of the playoffs. So that's how it goes. You get a bit of leeway if you were better in the previous season.
So they are the 16 teams that are going through, as you said, the order of which is still up in the air, but that's why we have our great admin team here to work out such things which I can't even talk anymore.
He just wants to go to the toilet, frankly.
Actually, I feel fine now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
suppressed
suppressed
I thought
it.
there would be tears of joy after that last game with, you know, weeping waterfalls and trickling streams and lakes of wonderful joy. Still okay?
Still hanging in
Okay.
there. Still got it. So one last thing before we actually close things out, guys. Don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at Joe_Miller, at Paul Chalona. And also you should make sure you follow the Twitch channel because that's where we broadcast all our Counter-Strike.
And there's one other thing that you should follow as well, at RaidCall EMS1 on Twitter and on Facebook /RaidCall EMS1.
/ Don't forget the /. Otherwise, you know.
Yeah, but that isn't
know.
a gift by the morning. Right then.
Could go wrong. But I would like to say thank you very much, guys, for joining us for
Indeed.
the 4 cups. Obviously, I left Paul hanging in week 1 with the production. He
It's 1-1.
returned the favour yesterday with his career. I think he got the better of the 2 ends of the stick with that one. So that's pretty much it from us for tonight. As I said, follow us on Twitter. Make sure you follow in the Twitch channel as well. And we shall bid you a farewell. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. I suppose it is Friday tomorrow.
Yep, absolutely. Have
The
fun.
weekend starts here. Guys, thanks very much. We'll see you next week.